Howdy folks, I'm going to show you some 36 caliber paper cartridges I'm making. They're not 100% historically accurate, but that's kind of where the idea comes from. So there's a finished one. Now the paper I'm using is just the kind of like packing paper. See, it's all wrinkled like would come in an Amazon box or whatever. So it was free. So I'm just going to cut a piece out. Cut it that shape. I'm not too precise. Got my dowel rod here. Just take some glue, put that on one end, right on the edge. Piece of paper under it. I'm just going to take the dowel. I'm going to roll that. Keep it fairly tight. See? So now we've just got a paper tube. I take my round ball. I've hollowed out the end of my dowel just a little bit. I saw how to do this from Era's Gone bullet molds. So I'm just going to put that in there. And that's about where I want it. These are felt wads. It's just a piece of felt. I got a 1/2 inch, 3/8 inch would probably work, but I got a pack that had 1/2 inch, so the felt I'm using is just some old craft felt my mom had, so it's a little thinner. So I made it 1/2 inch just to make sure that it would be big enough to cover the chamber mouth. So this part's a little harder. So if your paper gets rolled up on you. Seat that up against the ball. Okay, now I'm going to twist this a little bit. This is just a cut off piece of thread from leather working, leftover thread. I always have these little tails when I get done sewing, so when I'm going to be working on a project like this, I save them and use them for this type of thing. Paid for it, you might as well use it. And those wads are lubricated. I mixed up 50% olive oil and beeswax, and I melted it and then cut out the circles and then just rubbed it all over in that stuff. So that's how I made the wads. Now I'm going to be using 777. It's 2F powder because I can't find 3F. 3F's better for a 36 caliber. I'm using about 15 grains in my powder measure. It's got a funnel here to let me keep from making a mess. Dump your powder in. Now that's against the dry side of that ball. I don't think you'd want it against the wet side. Now we're just gonna fold that this way. I'm gonna fold it this way. And just kind of fold it whichever direction you feel like at that point is what I do. There's better videos and better methods, but that's the basics. So what you do out in the field, I haven't done this yet, but I will. I'll do it and add that to this video, but you just pull this tail off, dump the powder in, push your ball and patch out, load it up the rest of the way, cap it, and fire it. So apparently that's the way, like when the Colt Walker was around, that'd be the paper cartridges they'd have had. I think even in the Civil War they had this style some. Otherwise they'd have the combustible ones. These are made with Guns of the West paper cartridge kit. I have shot these, and they work great, and they're easy to load, and they're kind of fun to make once you get through the frustrating part and learn what you're doing. And then I made the box for them. So anyway, that's how I'm making these, and I'll get a few more made up and we'll take them out to the range and try them. Alright, so I've already got 5 non-combustible paper cartridges loaded up in my Pieta 1851 Navy, and I'm going to be loading the last one. So that's one of them we made earlier. I'm just going to rip the end off. Already got it on half cock. Dump the powder in the chamber. Rip off my paper. Put in my round ball. There's that home. I'll add my felt wad that I'd homemade felt wads. I got all 6 chambers loaded up. I'm going to be using number 11 percussion caps, CCI magnums. Lowered it down on a safety pin. Got some clay pigeons on a board there. We'll see if we can hit any of them and see how the cartridges worked. Well, still not as fast as loading with the combustible paper cartridges, but I think you'll agree it's a lot faster than having to measure your powder out and load loose ball and everything, and biodegradable, so you can just let that drop. So yeah, it's a good alternative if you don't want to spend the money on a paper cartridge kit, or just want to be historically accurate. Way I understand the Colt Walker, that's what they would have used for paper cartridges for that. So yeah, kind of fun. Thanks for watching.